Recording in progress.
Because when you get told since you're a child at 18, you ain't my responsibility no more. At 17, you done. That's it. You gotta figure it out on your own. My daughter can step anything she want to. As long as she's fulfilling her gift that God gave her. Stay as long as you want. It's a part of the dream. We know what we're going to do with there. We know where we're going to stay. We're going to cover that and why. No, the area that we're going to live in. I ain't talking about how much money you're going to make. How do you know how much you can make? The person, do you not get the cost it takes to build a tower? If I start with, I just need $1 million, but it costs $3 million to build this dream, you already underfunded. So how do you know how much it's going to cost if you didn't first assess what's needed? Hey, you complaining about food? About it. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? This is how you build a dream. You gotta. Y'all ever dreamt something so crazy and scary that you woke up crying or you woke up looking around like, That wasn't a part of the dream. The mission that God gave me is the dream. It was never the goal. I expected God to give me the resources to fulfill the dream He gave me. It's an expectation. I expect that. So I don't know what that amount is. All I know is that if I have $1 billion worth of value that I'm giving the world, God gonna have to find me $1 billion of resources. Expectation. Now, what is that? How are you going to provide for this dream? What value am I going to provide to fulfill this dream? Make $1 million, but where's your $1 million of value? We go to God, say to our boss, ask for a raise, but no value. Just because you've been at the job a long time, you think that you're the 30 figures, 6 figures. Just because you've been God's child for a long time, you deserve a raise. God's going to give more resources to the child or ambassadors that are actually bringing value to the kingdom. You want $1 million, God gonna say, what for? What value are you going to bring His people? What's the value? Because when you assess the value, then you can determine the type of way you're going to impact them. So when you do security, you just don't secure. You understand that I'm securing something that's extremely valuable. And this type of value that I'm bringing to society is to protect something that whatever certification, whatever you need to ensure the value. Start a restaurant. What value are you bringing? Food that you're making still killing people. But
man, this bad boy just not want to.
Great. It's genetic. No. What's genetic is the mistakes you want to bring. If somebody ever makes $1 million, but they don't have $1 million worth of value, the money will always drop down to your true value. This is why you see people hit the lottery, money always will. See why people go to the NBA or play sports, then they get paid a big check, and then the money always goes. But when you see these athletes give their heart and their soul, and typically their answer is, this is not about basketball. This is about an experience that these people can do. This is about giving people a little bit of relief because their life is so hard. I'm going to go hard for these people that spend their life done. Now you're transcending the value. You're not there for money. You're there to really give value. And they end up, well, type of value. You want a big church? Why? What value are we going to bring? You want to be a minister? You want to be a pastor? You want to be, why? What value are you? You think this is coming up and just preaching is a part of just the job?
What's the cost? Assess that.
Oh, man. Hold on, family. Trying to get it.
Out of doing the work, you need to find a way to exit out too. The word of God says that your wife is your help meet, not your helpmate. Sorry. Women, when you dream, what type of man do you want? You want a man that just works a 9 to 5 and just comes home every time and services your every need? Don't sound like a man to me. Sound like a boy toy. I want you to pay for my needs and then be here when I need you. That don't sound like a dream. That sounds like slavery. That's why a lot of marriages, it look like slavery. And both of y'all are chained to each other for years because the Bibles keep y'all enslaved. Because you got to stay married. Okay. Because you ain't build your dream. So when y'all got married, you thought that the only thing that mattered was love and children. That's what you thought. Us just loving each other and just hugging each other and just having children, just sleeping beside each other because it's holy and it's not sinful anymore. It's cleanliness. And because God created us to fulfill missions, because we have forfeited our mission, now we fighting each other because that's the only mission we know. So because the only mission that you commissioned each other to have was be married, be with each other, and just be here. You put yourself in solitude confinement. You looking at them, they looking at you. You looking at them and they looking at you. The only thing you know is sex, food, and sleep, and arguments. Talking about we living good. That ain't no dream. That ain't no dream. So what type of man would you want? Dream about it. You know, women say, I want a God-fearing man. I want somebody that know the Lord and spiritual. Okay, when you get that man, he actually activate in that mission that God gave him. Will you submit to that? Or will you be arguing? Because you wanted the God-fearing, but you didn't want like the actual fulfilling the mission. You just want somebody that knew scriptures kind of like you. Y'all can pray together. Man, type of woman you want? You want somebody to see the God in you and keep challenging you because you keep sitting on your butt? Because you scared to dream? Type of man you want? Or you just want him to cut your yard, trim your trees, wash your car? Because the only thing that matters to you is you and your family. Have you ever been on top of a plane and been all the way in the air and you look down and you realize how small these houses really are? See, when you're down inside the building, it looks big. But if you go 100 meters up, what used to look big is small. You go 100 more meters up, what used to look small is tiny. You go 100 more meters up, and what used to be tiny doesn't exist anymore. That's how small we are in this big old world. And you think that your house and your world is the dream. That ain't no dream. That's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Type of dream. Notice I ain't talked about money. Notice I ain't talked about no business. Notice I haven't talked about a position in the church, organization, or a company. Because based on your dream, it will let you know what vehicle you need to take. If I am going to Japan, I'm not going to take a bicycle there. God must not love me. This thing don't go over water. So what I'm going to do, okay, God don't want to, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this tricycle, not even a bicycle, tricycle, and I'm going to put some water wheels on it. So then you spend 5 to 10 years putting water wheels on a tricycle. Then you get it on the water, you say, oh, now I'm finna get to my dream. And you pedaling. You're like, man, why am I going fast? Because you're in the wrong vehicle. You didn't assess where you were going. You got to figure out where you are going to assess then the vehicle you need to take. And a lot of you are in careers and opportunities and in jobs that are not conducive to the real dream that you have. And you wonder why you're miserable. Because your spirit is telling you this is what we need to do, but your complacency is telling you this is what I want to do. So because you're in conflict with yourself, you taking that and you hating on other dreamers. Because I ain't never seen somebody who was clear on their dream hate on another man's dream. So when I see people looking at me like, walk around with security, I say, oh, maybe that's because in your dream you didn't want to be that valuable to society. Where your dream needed to be secure because it involved other people's dreams. Oh, he being extra. I'm being extra. I'm extra. Thanks to Brother Ben, I'm extra. He made me be extra. And I actually like being extra. It makes me feel secure. Why? Because people know that you ain't playing with your dreams. The Bible says that your heart lies where your treasures are. Well, there's a lot of people that aren't investing in their dream. I learned a very valuable lesson today. This past weekend. That the dream that I had for me and my wife is clear. But I realized that I stopped investing into it. Because each piece of your dream, you got to invest into it. So how am I willing to get on a jet, fly across the country to another country, to help build this dream, but I wouldn't take a jet to help continue to build my marriage? Ain't that part of the dream? Because if I can't come home happy and I'm fighting when I get home, the dream can never be fulfilled. And if it gets there, you're gonna just be too late. But when you're not clear in your dream, you won't see when you're falling short. Yeah. You won't see when you're falling short. And I realized I thought my wife was, when she said that she wanted time, and of course, the biggest lesson, my wife asked me, what's my biggest lesson that I learned? And I didn't tell her. Because I felt like it'll be powerful if I told y'all what I learned. I say, my wife said she wanted time. And I say, you wanted time. So we got a full-time maid. House manager. I don't like the word maid. Full-time house manager. Got time. We got a full-time chef. You got time. But I didn't realize that I wasn't making a direct investment into her. That's what I learned. And I realized that in order for my dream to really be complete, every piece of the dream had to be done right. Because I've committed my entire life to this dream that I have. And if any piece of the dream is beginning to be distorted, it can literally mess up the entire dream. So be careful what you write down when you're dreaming. Because that may be the very thing that breaks everything apart. It's important. It's important. You should encourage other people to dream. Notice I haven't talked about money. Notice I haven't talked about a business. And notice I keep bringing those two things up. Because when you have a dream, none of that stuff matters. Never wrote a business plan down for my company. I wrote my dream down. I never said, okay, in this quarter we're going to, I think we're going to, we're going to look at the numbers. We're going to come back here and just hammer it out. Never said that. But I know what my dream looked like. And I'm so locked into my dream that it doesn't matter what vehicle I take. I remember when I was trying to figure out this thing, right? And I was just trying different avenues and different things. And I was trying different products and services. And I was trying different companies. I was trying to figure out this thing working. Everybody was making fun of me. Could it look like you need? How can I stick with something that I haven't found was conducive to the dream? So you as a settler can't teach me how to dream as a visionary. So I'm gonna keep trying and testing and moving and trying and testing and moving until I find the right vehicle that can get me to my destination. But I didn't care about the naysayers because I knew the dream. I knew the dream. This dream was that we would have locations all across the country with people helping us build this dream. And if I didn't try stuff, we wouldn't have chapters of our online school in different cities all across the world. Yeah. That people started on their own, but that was in my dream. And a lot of us try to dream and then figure out how you're going to get there. Where is God going to play a part? I say, God, I got the dream. I know what we're going to impact. I know the value we're going to bring. Now, you're going to have to figure out the rest. So I'm just going to go through every door and opportunity that you open for me to learn whatever skill set that I need. And a lot of you are scared of trying because you're scared everybody else going to say you're trying stuff. Well, how can you develop the skill sets needed to succeed if you're scared to try stuff? How? I learned how to sell over here. I learned how to communicate with this. I learned how to offer this. I learned how to impact people here. I learned how to build a community here. I learned how to build a company here. I learned how to recruit and build team here. But if I didn't try 8 different things to develop skill sets, I never would be whole enough to build a large organization. Because me failing today was not an indication that I was going to fail in my dream. Because my dream was clear. It's kind of crazy. Imagine you got a dream that you want to get home. Somebody kidnaps you. You don't know where you are. You come to, you're bleeding everywhere. You're going to figure out a way how to get out the bondage, right? You're not going to care how. You don't care what you use. You just know that you need to get out the bondage so that you can get home to your children. Because the dream is to be safe with your children, but you're stuck in bondage. You don't care how bloody it gets. You don't care how many times you fail at cutting this rope. You don't care what you got to do, but you know one thing that is sure, that you got to get home to your family. You don't care how many people come as obstacles to try to stop you. As long as you have breath in your body, you're going to fight as many people for as long as you can, for as much as you need to, so that you can get to your family. Well, if it makes such practical sense in the physical, why, when it comes to dreaming and chasing our dreams, do we not think the same way? If you would do whatever it takes to get back to your children, if your child got kidnapped, you would do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to make sure your baby got back home. Well, your dream is your baby. Your dream is your baby. And although we create babies, your dream is the only thing that can live past even your physical children. Why won't you fight for your child? That dream. Why won't you do what it takes for that dream? The reason why you won't is because you don't know your dream. So it's hard to fight for a child you don't know. It's hard to fight for a dream you never met. Why do you think it's important that when a mom births her baby, they put the baby right on her chest? Because bonding is necessary for the motherhood pheromones to kick in. You need to see what your dream looks like. Because how can you go after and chase something that gets stolen from you if you don't know what they look like? I'm trying to save my dream. Well, man, what does it look like? It looks like, God, I'm trying to catch my dream. God is like, okay, what's the last thing your dream had on? What's the color of your dream? What shoes was your dream wearing? What car was your dream last in? Who was your dream next to the last time you saw them? If you can't identify your dream, you can't save it. If you can't identify your dream, you can't get to it. But if you know your dream and you see your dream and you envision your dream and you can smell your dream, you can taste your dream, the Bible says to be in the world but not of it. So that means that even though my current circumstance doesn't look like my dream, that doesn't mean that my mind can't already be there. I taught y'all what faith was. Faith is to believe it's already done and to work as if it's already there. So my dream, I need to know it's done. So I need to walk like my dream. Write this down. Who do I need to become to attract my dream? It's going to be the last thing we sit on. Who do I need to become to attract my dream? Because who you are right now, look at your attraction. You can't change it. People say, why do bad things always happen to me? Well, why are you the bad thing that attracts all the bad things? Every time I go work a job, they never give me a chance. Well, you probably should ask yourself, why don't they? Why don't they? Who do you need to become? You become a millionaire before you make $1 million. That went over some of y'all's head. You become a principal before you actually get the job. I can make that one more plain. When you're teaching and they see you have administrative ability, they begin to give you more duties before you actually get the position. and what happens when you get more duties, you start to say, well, man, they ain't paying for these extra duties. They just want to know, can you handle the job if I gave it to you? Can you handle dealing with teachers and dealing with students and doing these extracurricular activities? Because that's what the job requires. A lot of us want the position of our dreams, but we don't want the job description of it. It's the description. That's why I say you become a millionaire before you make $1 million. You got to bring value. You got to be valuable. You got to be able to do that because God will then compensate you and put you in position when he knows you can fulfill the job. This is why you see a lot of people have what they call overnight success. And all of a sudden, it's like they get caught up on all the stuff they've been doing. It's because they finally are getting compensated for the position. Who do you need to become? So you meet somebody that's successful and they got to figure it out. Ask them, who did you have to become to get there? I promise you to open up a different conversation. Not, hey, what can we do to work together, you know what I mean, so we can build together? No. You already asked the wrong question. I've already tuned it out. Who do I need to become in order for you to want to do business with me? Ooh. I ain't never had that question asked. So you need to be asking yourself, to your dream, who do I need to become to attract this type of dream? How does this person walk? How does this person communicate with people? How does this communicate? How does this person love? How does this person build relationships? A lot of us want good friendships, but you're a terrible friend yourself. There's a wonder why everybody ain't loyal to you. Because you ain't proven worthy to be loyal to. Because if you were somebody who were loyal, you wouldn't even be dealing with people who are unloyal. Because they already had the signs. You just overlooked it. Because y'all got similar characteristics. That's a hard truth. But it's a fact. Who do you need to become to attain that dream? Because that will tell you what you need to do. And you can go look up a business plan online. There's not a new business plan that's going to help you figure it out. They're already out there. How to build a business. We can talk about that in the actual business workshop. So my team can come and help talk about that. That ain't what we need to talk about. But how to build a dream, this is what you need to start with. Build your blueprint. What does it look like? And don't just say house, car, kids, and this. No. Be detailed. When you got all that stuff, what are you doing daily? You know what that tells you? You're going to have to know, write this down, you're going to have to know what your gift is. The struggle that people typically have every day is that you don't know your gift. The word of God, it says your gift will make room for you. That's what the word that we read and we say that we know. It didn't say your gifts. It never shows a plural gift. It says singular. Your gift will make room for you. It says talents in plural. Your gift and talents are two different things. Your gift is something God gifts you. That's why he says it will make room for you. Because when you gift that gift to the world, God has to give you your inheritance. Your gift is the key to your inheritance. So if you never tap into your gift, you will never tap into the overflow of your inheritance. A talent is an over-practiced skill. It's just a skill that you master, something that you learn. A gift is something that you do. And you would do this even if nobody paid you. That's your gift. What would you do if you had all the money in the world? What would you be doing every single day like clockwork that you wouldn't have to set the alarm for? What would you, don't put money behind it. What would you do? Whatever that thing is, that is the gift. Now you just need to find a way to make that valuable in the marketplace. Everybody know that I would teach. My gift is taking complex concepts and make it as simple enough for everybody to see. I have a talent, not a gift, a talent to be able to look at something one time and pick it up. That's associated with my gift. But my gift is the ability to take complex information and to break it down simple enough to educate anybody on no matter their level. I didn't have to learn how to do that. So then I just have to figure out how to make this gift valuable in the marketplace. I could have did that with NBA analytics. I could have did that with science. I could have did that with, breaking down zoology. But I had to figure out where is the value in the marketplace today, and how can I develop the right skill sets and talents that will allow my gift to shine in this new world. So that means I had to learn technology. I had to learn banking. I had to learn these financial things so that I can break down this information and I can disseminate it to the people so that people can be made free. Your gift, let me give you a hint. Your gift adds value to God's people. So if you only want to do it to take care of yourself, that is not a gift. That's a talent. Because it's impossible for your gift to be selfish because it was never given to you. So you naturally want to give it out. You want to invest it into other people. You want to continue to give it out because that is what it is. So when you figure out this dream life, now you need to dissect yourself. What is my gift? What would I naturally do if I didn't have to pay a dime for anything? What would I do if it's serve and help people? We need to figure out a way. How can you provide service to help people in a way that can be so valuable to the marketplace that you have to be compensated well to do it? Then you look at industries. Now you look at the vehicle. What industries best fit this gift? And then you learn skill sets and you develop talents in these industries where you can administer your gift in that space. Does that make sense? That's how you figure out this thing. So you build your dream, then you find your gift, and then you date your gift in different industries that best align and associate with it. When you date your gift and you find something that aligns and associates with it, now that's when the work comes. It never says in the Word of God that it will be fun. It never says that you'll be inspired all the time. But what you will be is fulfilled. You'll be fulfilled. You'll be fulfilled enough to deal with pain. You'll be fulfilled enough to deal with backstabbing. You'll be fulfilled enough to deal with clients and customers that don't understand and they always nag and they feel entitled. But you'll wake up every single day willing to do it because if you didn't, you really feel like you'll die. That's the gift. We spend so much time doing work, talents, and administering skills that we never find our gift, and we wonder why we get so hateful. You got to activate your gift. And when you find it, there are many ways that you can be able to add value to the other world, to other people. Add value to their lives. And when you do that, your life will be changed. But you got to dream plan. You got to plan your dream. You got to dream your plan. You got to plan your dream, then you got to dream the plan over and over again. Over and over and over again. I'll go over on another day what these trackers are about. I may send a video out so that you guys can see how to work those trackers. But those trackers, that's your success tracker. That keeps you on track with your dream. Every single thing that I've ever written down in my success tracker has come true. Every single thing. And what it is, at the top, you have your quote. What's the top? That's the quote, right? On that page, on the right side. It's the what? It's the who? Oh, yeah. No. It's the goals. Yeah, so your goals. You write your goals. Your goals are whatever's on that dream plan. The goals are whatever's on that dream plan. Then you write your quote. My quote for about 2 years was, it actually came from a song. This is my exodus. I'm saying goodbye to the old me with Leandria Johnson and the choir. This is my exodus. I'm saying goodbye to the old me. And what it did, it reminded me of Paul that said, I die daily. That was my quote. This is my exodus. I'm saying goodbye to the old me. Because I had to die of myself every day to become a better version that can prepare me for my dream. A lot of our problems that you living in your past glories, thinking that that's going to get you to your new story. If your past glories could get you to your new stories, you would be there. Yeah. So you write your goal, you write that goal down and you make it plain. Now, when you write the goals down, it shouldn't change every day. If it's really your dream, it only changes every day if it's somebody else's dream. That's why you got to do your dream planning first. So at the top, you write your dream goals, then you write your quote, and then next comes your targets. What are you doing today that's working toward that dream? What are you doing today that is helping you get closer to that dream? The next part is your successes. And your successes, you write down what you accomplished from the targets of the day. And then you finish it off with your dreams and goals again. What it does, it helps you write down the plan every single day. Every single day, like clockwork. These goals, these dreams, these accomplishments, these targets that you need to hit. And then you write down when you hit it. And then you can literally look back at it a year from there. And if you literally did something every single day to work toward your dream, I can guarantee you in 4 to 6 years, you'll hit it. Every single day that you will hit it. Remember, we didn't talk about money. We didn't talk about business. Because what good is any of that if you don't know where you're going? Plan the dream and dream the plan. And I'll see y'all in Dreamland. Love you.
All right, y'all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Push one. All right, good. All right, you guys, good teaching today. Sorry about the technical difficulties, y'all. Like we was trying to live stream, but it looks like the easiest way was just to share the screen. But yeah, we definitely want to talk about some takeaways, you guys. We got some time left. The success tracker, the thing that he's talking about at the end, you guys all have access to that. Is actually in your curriculum. So literally go and you'll be able to see the success tracker. And we have some other tools as well, prioritizing things, all of that organization that we want to get away from because we want to be just free flowing and things like that. You don't want to listen to me, listen to the millionaire, listen to Jake, the doctor. And it's gonna be the same thing, you guys. We have to get serious about it. Yeah, you can definitely pay for it as well on our site. But I think there's also there's copies you can kind of print off if into the meantime, and get it on actually in our curriculum. All right, y'all. So push 5 in the chat if you got any takeaways from the lecture, the teaching. Sister Victoria, you can start us out.
It's always just divine alignment, man. It's just like everything just works together and in order. Okay, give me a second, okay? The biggest thing that kind of, no, you cannot. Please go and shut the door. I tell Zai to bring it back. The biggest thing that kind of stood out for me was that, like, the biggest hindrance to us actually achieving our dream is that we pick our vehicle before we actually even know what our dream is. And so there's no wonder why we never get there, because we haven't allowed our dream to be the guiding force. Sometimes we just think we know, like, this is going to be the way, this is going to be the way that I get there. But then we wake up and we're 40 and we realize what our actual dream is. And then we're like, okay, now I see why I've been getting it wrong, because I thought I knew how I was supposed to get there, And so that was like a big takeaway. And then the other thing was allowing ourselves to dream lavishly and visualize to be specific. And when he said that when we have a goal of a financial amount, it literally limits us. Because who said that your dream could fit within the confines of that six-figure number, or whatever the number looks like? So we have to, like he was talking about in the video, shift our expectations, right? And change the way that we speak to ourselves and the way that we interact with ourselves. And literally that will allow us to see what it is for us to see. Because sometimes we talk bad to ourselves and wonder why those things keep materializing, because we haven't changed the language. Back to you, Sean.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate it. Sister Chambers, what was your takeaways? Sister Chambers?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So my takeaway is about the 6 figures, making 6 figures or a whole bunch of money and not giving value. And as I'm learning how to utilize system, I'm seeing a lot of people using the systems and misleading people. And they're making all this money, but they're not giving anything. And it kind of discouraged me from building my own system and trying to, because I get confused, even though I'm not confused, but it's like, damn, like, they're giving away all this stuff, like, oh, it's the system. But then when they put the system in play, they tell it. I mean, thank you for telling the truth, but it's like, yeah, you're really manipulating people with the system that is in use, and you're not giving anything. So I'm trying to figure out to set my mind aside to learn the system, but not use it the way I'm being taught to use it. And that just bothers me, and it kind of hinders me, and was a lot holding me back to, kind of build my system of how I want to teach, or how can I teach when all these other people are misleading with the system.
Yes, ma'am. The only thing that I would say to that, Sister Chambers, is that I think that should actually encourage you. And validate the reason. Like, that's a pain point. That's a motivation. When I started my school, that was the purpose of it. How I wanted to go to school, how I wish things would have been when I went to barber school, how I wished things would have been if I had a barber shop, how I thought my client's experience should be. So for everything that could be looked at as a discouragement, it might actually God be tugging on your heart to actually encourage you to do it and meet that voice. Because there's a lot of people that your stuff, already know your stuff. So don't let that be the mental block that gets in your way. We're all going to make mistakes, and I don't think making mistakes is manipulation. I don't think you're not there yet. The technical stuff and all of the different barriers that might be had. People could see through that and see through genuine value and things like that. So y'all never let that be the barrier that keeps us. That's totally different. It's people they got all of the bells and whistles, and like you said, they know that they're blowing smoke. And again, the success reign, God's reigns on the justice and the injustice. But at the end, it'll all come out, and eventually we'll be able to tell who's who. So you guys stay encouraged and don't let those frauds and those scammers discourage y'all from doing the things. Balance the skills by actually getting out there and showing people how it's supposed to be done. Thank you for your thoughts, sis. Emmanuel, what's your takeaway?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, my takeaway. First, I want to give all praise to Allah. Man, brother Jake broke it, and it just reminded me of the word "lean not on your own understanding." That's my takeaway from everything that was taught. To lean not on my own understanding. Put it in His hands, and He gonna put it away.
That's good, man. That's that faith talk. I love it, man. Thank you for your thoughts.
That's all I got.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. That's powerful. Brother Ken, what was your takeaway, sir?
Peace. My biggest takeaway was you said people need to know you ain't playing with your dream. And that's something I literally, before this call, had just text somebody that, because I told them I have a very strict schedule that I go by. And I was like, if I ain't gonna be somewhere, I'm gonna tell somebody, because I'm committed to whatever I'm doing. I was like, so like I had to get a day nigga tell them, don't come playing with me because you had a miscommunication. I told you, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't one of those type of things. It was just like, hey, don't, and I was like, you got to be able to tell people that, because when you coming into business with new people that you're friends with, they don't know how you are as a business person, and it's like, no, this happens. I have other people. I'm on a tripod. I cannot be in that meeting. That's that. Like, it ain't no, I'm gonna be here and there. And it was like, you gotta, make everything clear. And then another thing you said, you become a millionaire before you make $1 million. And that hit home right there, because it literally took me back to playing football like in college, because it's like, and literally you get $1 million if you do really good. So you go hard, you make all the plays and everything, because you already know you're a millionaire once you get there. All you got to do is go through all of this. But it's like, we don't apply the same concept when it comes to working our dream, working the business, and whatever we doing. And it's like, bro, if we literally programmed ourselves like that, it would happen. Like he said, what he said, 6 years and not 15. Like that's the truth. That's the literal truth. Like, some people I met somebody in New York who was dude great at what he does, health. He said it took him 20 years to get where he at now, where it's like kind of automatic. And I already knew from him just saying that, his belief in what the whole dream, he was up and down with it. So that was the two takeaways I got.
No, that was good. Definitely, bro. We was watching something from TD Jakes this morning, and he said, you don't make a wife, you find a wife. And he said, if she's not a wife when you meet her, then once you marry her, she ain't gonna be a wife then. He said, even the Bible says, man that findeth a good wife. So this whole thing to where, like you said, you have to be that, is becoming that millionaire, already being there, and then the access to the resources and things come afterwards. So I definitely agree with that. Thank you for your thoughts, brother. Sister Lovejoy.
Peace and blessings, family. I got two things from it. There was a lot, but the ones that stuck out for me was, is it your dream? And that is something that has actually been circulating within my mind, over these last couple months. Is your dream? And if it's not your dream, what is your dream? And then the second thing that stood out for me was that every piece of the dream has to be in alignment. Everything, your marriage, your business, your relationships with others, all of those things need to be in alignment for it to actually come into fruition. So those two things really stuck out for me. And peace, family. It's good to see you again.
Peace. Good to see you as well. Coach Cam, what was your takeaway, brother?
My takeaway was when he talked about transcending value, and really understanding, how much and how important value and impact is in the marketplace, and how that connects directly to your purpose. And I really enjoyed the fact that it wasn't money talk, it wasn't business talk, but it was about value, purpose, and really dreaming and understanding your mission in life. Because oftentimes we get caught up in bag talk. We get caught up in how much money somebody's making or how much money we're trying to make, when really you just limited yourself. So as brother Dr. Jake said, that in the scripture, your gift will make room for you. So you just have to focus on that. Stop focusing on the numbers. Stop being worried about, I want to make this amount of money. I want to make this amount of money. And stop being selfish. Dr. Jake was really hitting on about how selfish a lot of people are. They say they want to go into business, but for what? Because you try to make a certain amount of money to increase your lifestyle, so you can make a certain amount of money, so your kids can look like this, your children can dress a certain way, you can dress a certain way, you can go on all these fancy trips and do all that kind of stuff. Well, none of that stuff is legacy building. None of that stuff is kingdom building. None of that stuff is helping our people be better people. None of that type of stuff is helping to pour back into the children or pour back into the community to help some of the ailments and the problems that we have going on within our own communities, neighborhoods, families. So we really have to look at ourselves and say, what is it that I want to do to help change the current condition of society? Because if that's not the purpose or the end goal, then what you're doing is for vanity. And the scripture says that God hates vanity. He hates it. So if you're not doing anything for his purpose, his glorification, and for the betterment of human beings in society, then you're not going to be successful at the small number game that you're trying to put together over there. You're trying to get the X amount of people because you're trying to make this hundreds of thousands of dollars, so you can be in a skybox somewhere, you can be on the floor seats at the NBA finals, or you can be doing a bunch of stuff that really don't matter. Now, it's not about making memories and being able to do some different things that are life changing, right? Because we all want to do that. But again, what's the purpose? Jake said he got the race, not because he's trying to show off for a bunch of people. He got the race because his purpose is to inspire the youth who also want a race, but think that the only way to get one is by being a rapper, or being a drug dealer, or being a gangster, or being a pimp. This is the only way that they think they can get a race. So no, I'm gonna get a race. I'm gonna get it the righteous way, and then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna roll through the hood, and I'm gonna show you this is how you get a race. This is how you get the bag. This is how you able to do all the things that you aspire to do. You have to operate within the gift and the confine and the purpose that God gave. So that was some of the takeaways that I got from Brother Jake. Thank you, Brother Sean, for allowing me to have the floor, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. And you're exactly right. And I think we do limit our. I believe that most people need a job. I believe most people need to go punch in the clock. And the reason why I say that is because their dreams and their vision are not about impacting anybody but themselves and their family. And with that being said, you guys, you could just go punch a clock from a 9 to 5 and kill all of the stress that come with this entrepreneurial thing and just take care of you and your family. You understand? When you start talking about a business and things like that, even when we say a 6-figure business, it's not enough money. Even when you break down $1 million business, when you start talking about overhead, all of these different expenses, I ain't gonna hit y'all with a bag talk, but we just for real, we gotta be real with like numbers. Even $1 million business they're generating, we should be happy about it, but at the same time, the amount of impact that it can have in families and stuff, that's not that much money to circulate. When you start talking about the average family might need, $60,000, $70,000, maybe $100,000 to operate. You know, like the impact, the dream has to be bigger. And that's what Jake is really trying to expound upon and impress upon us tonight, that it can't be like sometimes we throw these figures out and we're putting a cap on God when God is saying, like, I'm limitless. Why would it ever be $1 million? Why would it ever be $10 million? Why would it be whatever? If I did it for him, I could do it for you. But the belief has to be there. So I thank you for saying that, Coach Cam, because I definitely I got that same takeaway, brother. Thank you. Sister Jessica. Sister Jessica. Yes, I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
I would say, I don't really progress. I don't understand what I'm saying. But I would say my biggest takeaway of a lot of this is that faith is definitely on the other side of fear. You know, you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith in order to be fearless in a lot of things. And being fearless is knowing how much it costs and knowing what you are worth at the end of the day. You know, and being willing, like I don't, a lot of people, they punch in that clock, yeah, because it is easier. I wonder why, because the world is so tough. But at the same time, I think we all trying to fight the fight of being happy, you know. I think everybody deserves to be happy. So at the same time, um, I think we all vessels in different ways. So that was my biggest takeaway of all this, is trust versus
Sorry. Thank you, sis. Brother Dirk, what we got, man? What's your takeaway?
Hey, blessings and love, kings and queens. I took away a couple points, and it really hit home with me. I like when you ask, like, what are you willing to sacrifice? Like, what are you willing to give to get to your dreams? And it was at a point to where I started my newfound life, my newfound journey, that I was willing to sacrifice every relationship, every from my marriage to the relationship with my kids. I was willing to sacrifice it all just to become closer with God, because I knew that if it wasn't aligned with where I was going, then I had to be willing to sacrifice any and everything and be committed to that sacrifice to be able to get it. And before I even came to ABS, before I even found out about this stuff, just something, God told me something to just start calling yourself Dirk the Dream Saver. And Brother Jake just really just explained to me why that was. Like, you got to help people save their dreams. Like, I'm giving you this call, and I'm gonna give you this teaching, I'm gonna give you this platform, I'm gonna give you everything, because you have it in your heart, you have it in your soul to really want to pour out and sacrifice yourself for the mankind. You willing to sacrifice your well-being for others because you've always been that way. So now I see that, like, some people don't even realize the sacrifices they have to make to get to their dream. So I'm being put in a position to really help them figure that out, because you're not living, you're not really getting the most out of life until you're willing to sacrifice to go towards what it is that you have in your heart. Like, if you're not willing to die every day for your dream, like he was saying, then you're not really living. You're not really putting it out there. You're just going through the motions. You're just going through the cycles. So it really meant a lot to me that he put that out there. And it was also a thing, like, for me, when he was talking about eternal life, because I also realized that as long as I was living for myself, as long as I was living for Dirk, I can set a goal. And then once I achieve that goal, then it'd be like, okay, what's next? And the way I could actually just have eternal life and live forever is to get it beyond me. Like, if I help enough people around the world, or enough people to get God bless me to see, get to their dreams and get to their goals, then it'll always give me a mission. It'll always give me a task. It'll always help me fulfill something else that was bigger than myself. And then if I do that for enough people, then my name and my legacy will live on, not just through the accomplishments of me, but through the accomplishments that I help others accomplish. And then just them affecting somebody else just because of something that I helped them do. And it's just a trickle effect of things like that. So it really just hit home to me that it's really bigger than just me. It's really bigger than just us. It's about the impact that we can bring to the world. And if we look past that, because Jake not doing it for him, like he said, I bought the, like Brother Kim said, I bought the race to show somebody else what they can do with their life the righteous way. So it's let us be a vessel of the power of the Most High. Let us be a vessel of the capabilities that we have within ourselves. So this was really confirming that, like, the sacrifices and just the struggles, it was all worth it, man. So I really appreciate y'all sharing this sermon with us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Dirk. And then we got Frank.
Appreciate you. Can you hear me, good brother?
Yes, sir. Peace.
Hey, what I got from it, man, is just really confirming with me to stop dumbing down my blessings. And I come from an area where robbing, killing, stealing, and drug dealing was all that we knew and thought that was the way to get out the hood. So now, as I've entered into this social media world, I'm raised by OGs and not IG. So it's making me feel uncomfortable that I come from a mindset of looking broke and getting wealthy to now showing people what God has done for me through the things that he has blessed me with. The toys that I may have is not for me, but to inspire those that know where I come from and those that think that dying their way out the hood instead of looking at the hood as an investment is their only option. I need to start changing my mindset and start not just inspiring them that they can do well, but I'm still coming around looking broke, but come around inspire them by my actions and also showing what God is blessing me with through me now having to transfer my life from the streets to, a businessman and somebody that went through, having to go to prison to get to church, to become a husband, to be a father figure, to be free and still raise your kids, to now a mentor to show others that you got options out here. So that's what I take away from it is you got options and stop dumbing down your blessings. Appreciate y'all. God bless.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Frank. Yeah, you got to show them, man. It's other people that they can't, that's just not going to connect with them on the same level, bro. So you definitely have a responsibility to get out there and let people know all of that. Some people talking about it, you done lived it. So I think that's beautiful, man. Thank you for sharing. I think Vance, is that a 5? Vance Bradford, you still here? Going once, going twice. All right, go to the next person, Coach Khan.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Man, that was such a powerful delivery that Brother Jake, the great doctor, which I've called him that from within the first couple of weeks that I joined the ABS, because I knew within my spirit that this man was literally cutting financial cancer out of people's lives and operating not so much on their money as he was on their mind. So I always called him the doctor, and it's documented for the record. And that's what I was attracted to, the same spirit, but he touched on so many points. Everything from manure being a fertilizer. See, we don't want to go through nothing. We just want to get where we see people are. We want to get where he is, where Brother Ben is. But I made a post. I can remember seeing Brother Ben put up 30,000 Instagram posts. How many of y'all on here are willing to put up 30,000 Instagram posts to get to 300,000 followers? I'm just saying, man, if we just keep it all the way real, we have to be willing to give it all that we got, because you may not get all that you pay for, but you certainly will pay for all that you get. And I just want to try to be through my example based on what that brother is saying, that if you give it all, that's why the book says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all of this righteousness and all of these things will be added unto us. Our problem is we doing it in reverse, family. We going for the things and we leaving the kingdom out. But if you go for the kingdom, which is really sitting in you, all of these things, you'll start attracting them like a magnet. Right now, you attracting what you're putting out there. So come on, family. Let's take to heart what he said and not just say he was on fire, but let's implement it starting right now.
That was good, and I bear witness. Coach Condon been calling him Doc a long time, y'all. For sure. I was just texting somebody that today. That's what's up. I think we're gonna go to Steven. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the thing I got from that is, this journey of life, it's one thing to have your own personal dreams, but if your dreams is not in alignment with what God wants for your life and your purpose, then you'll still fall. And that my testimony is it's a difficult journey. Certainly but because I know my purpose and what I'm supposed to do in life, I'm able to navigate so many trials and tribulations that the world will give us. The example I can use is right in the Holy Word of God when Joseph, he had a dream and he was told from the angel specific instructions to give the Messiah his name, which was Jesus Christ. Now, if he would have went outside of that purpose or that call that he gave Joseph to give to Jesus, then all of us would have been already destroyed. We probably wouldn't be present here today because the naming and the purpose that God gave Joseph to give to Jesus was in alignment for his purpose in his life as he grew to become the Messiah, the Lord, as we know him even today. So if our dream doesn't align with what God has for us, then our dreams don't mean anything anyway if it's not what God wants us to have. And so I'm just encouraged by what he said because you know your purpose, I know my purpose, and because I know my purpose, of course the problems and the trials of life is going to come, but because of that purpose alone, that pushes us to yet go forward even when we feel like giving up.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your thoughts. I got a May. May, what's your thoughts?
Yes. Blessings to everybody. The thing that stuck with me the most out of the whole thing is just be willing to be misunderstood. I work in an environment where I'm the polar opposite of everybody I work with, and I just feel misunderstood a lot of times. So it causes me to stay quiet, just stay in line about everything. So and I'm starting to realize, like, the more and more I get involved with being BWO and the ABS tribe, that I'm starting to think a little different about things and starting to want to explore my dreams. So yeah, it's just, I know if I stay that way, then I'm not ever going to achieve my dreams. So I'm just on that path and that journey to thinking outside the box.
Yeah. Be mindful of people that sometimes misunderstanding you, when some people want to intentionally misunderstand you. It's a difference in trying to figure out, not understanding and trying to find some common ground. Some people seek to not have common ground with folks and to align themselves with, just mischief and things like that. So be encouraged, brother. Brother Rock.
Peace, family. What I got out of it, value. It's like when he pointed out, when $1 million is made without value, you turn right back into your original value. Look at me, living proof right here. I've done it, right? But I didn't do it in a legal way. So I was scared to spend it. I was scared to invest it. All I was doing was spend it. And so I went right back to my original state. And my original state before making the money was homeless. So after all that money was gone, I went right back to homeless. So always add value. So I learned from that to always add value. Do something of value so that you be able to retain whatever you earn. That's it. Back to you, Sean.
Thank you, Brother Rock. I love it. I appreciate you, Brother Rock. Sister Naomi.
Peace and blessings, everybody. That was heavy. Dr. Jake, man, this is divine alignment, though, because this is exactly what we listened to this morning. He didn't touch on no money, because a lot of times we miss the point that spiritual, then physical, not the other way around. It doesn't work that way. One of the biggest takeaways is he said, are you willing to be buried and not seen? That going into the inner sanctum, just you and your God, and nobody else. Nobody understands you. Nobody is walking with you. Nobody is showing you the way. It is what he says, and that's it. And a lot of us are not willing to lets go of that which does not serve him. So when he was given a breakdown of the cost to build a dream, he said, everybody can come. Not your mama, not your grandma, not best friend, or any of them. Everybody can't come. Because in order for you to walk into your divine assignment, certain people have to be erased. And it ain't that you don't love them. It's not that you don't care about them. It's just that in order for your purpose to be fulfilled, the reason why you're here, the purpose, the gift. Dr. Jake said, you don't have nothing else. He said, know what your gift, singular, is. It's aligned with the purpose and why the divine even created you to begin with. It's not multiple. And some people don't understand that gift. Some people will purposely misunderstand you, like Sean just said, of your gift because it doesn't fit in the picture that they believe it to be in. But it ain't their picture. They're not the painter of destiny. They're not the painters of life. It's the divine, it's God, it's the creator. So there's no way around that. You got to be willing to be misunderstood. Misunderstood by who? The people that surround you. Misunderstood by people sometimes that we don't even know. They could pull up on our little videos and then totally go completely left because it's not meant for them to receive the message. And everybody is not our assignment. They just ain't. It is what it is. You got to be willing to be in the dark. How many of us want to sit with ourselves? How many of us really want to go to the prayer word and say, I need you to show me the way. I need you to remove this fault or this flaw that I have. And tell them what you need. We don't want to sit with ourselves. And it really is domino effect when people start to fall off like flies and nothing seems to go right for us. That is God's way of saying, I got a calling for you. But since you're playing, I'm going to make you come to me. Because every knee is going to bow and every tongue is going to confess. And you have to go to him in order to get to where he wants you to go. Because honestly, he's the vehicle. He can send you through whatever vehicle. We had these dreams in our minds that something just look a type of way. And the moment it is not what we get mad, we get angry, we keep trying to make it go a specific way. But it's God's way of saying, I'm the author of life. I'm the author of your purpose because you serve my purpose. It's ours, but it is his first. And you have to be fluid when he changes and switch up on you. Well, you've been doing it one way, and he says, flow this way. Because this is where I'm taking you. I'm taking you into something greater. It's like water that has the ability to flow, and all of a sudden it's a pile of rocks sitting in front of that water that needs to get to the other side. And you don't know how it's going to get to the other side, but with water, what does it do, y'all? It goes through all the cracks and the crevices and the turns and the ups and the downs. And then on the other side, it begins to trickle little by little until it completely fills up. Because it has to get to the other side. We have to be able to do that and know when he has his hand in it and is saying, I need you to turn right instead of going left. He said, there are no real vacations. Not when we're building a dream. How many of us be wanting to take vacations and blow money and we want to do all these great and grand things, but we have not worked ourselves up to that point? And that's the sacrifice that comes with having a dream. For those of us that are married, I'm not saying don't take a little break. You know what I'm saying? But for those of us who are married, your marriage is also a vehicle, if you didn't know. Marrying the wrong person who your vision or your dream does not align up with will have you down at, rock bottom, zero. And I'm going to say this for the sisters. The Honorable Miss Lewis Farrakhan said, you cannot get in the way of a man and his mission. When God gives a man of God, because we all say we want one, but that's work. It's work, it's commitment, it's not having him right there up under you all the time because he can't work or he up under you. And when God gives him a vision, when we get in relationships, we have to absolutely know for sure, can I be his help meet? Meaning he has a goal that he's about to meet. And if he's driven by God, you cannot get in the way of that because then you will be on the side or you will no longer be. It's not that we're less, it's that we're there to help him and helping him helps us. So I'm not going to have all his time. I'm not going to have all his attention. But as you pour into him so he can do more, he's going to turn around and do what Dr. Jake said he did with his wife. He gave her time. He took her somewhere. He loves on her. He makes sure he makes it easy. And that is what a man who is aligned with God and have a vision will do. When you are his help, meet. And I'm going to give you the other half of that. When you help that man, trust and believe if you got a dream that the God that gave you in a purpose, that man is going to help you fulfill that thing. But you have to first do it and be it for him. We have to be first before you can do, meaning be, assume the position. Do, meaning you need to work. Then I will pour unto you, which is to have. It's not out of that order. Absolutely is not. He said, relatives and family are two different things. And I always go back to the scripture when they was telling Jesus, look at your mom and your brother and your sister. And he said, that ain't my mother, my brother, my sister. My mother, brother, and sister is those who do the works of God. Those who are on the same float as me. Those who are moving in divine alignment. So you have to be willing to surrender and let go of those who do not serve that purpose. Don't mean you don't love your family. It just means I love God more. Don't mean I can't stand grandma. It just means that grandma right now is going to be a distraction. And they don't believe in what I'm doing. I would rather family all day, every day than relatives. That's just me personally. Give me family. This is family. This right here. I got plenty relatives. My family ain't that big. And I appreciate that because that means that's your inner sanctum. These are the people who are going to drive you. These are the people who are going to push you. This is the help that he sends in different forms from different talents and different gifts to help you. That's the vehicle. Move in the direction you need to move in so that you can fulfill something that he needs you to fulfill. Delayed gratification. If you want gimme right now, and you get it, then what? When we have not worked for a thing, when we have not broken our backs for a thing, when we have not experienced pain, when we have not experienced loss, you don't value a thing like you're supposed to. Success equals pain. Dr. Jake was right on point, because when I talk to people, I say, well, tell me your story. I want to know what you've been through. Because if you haven't been through anything, it's like Moses walking with the wise men, asking questions about things that he don't have a comprehensive knowledge on. And people who have not been through things, and who have not lost things, and who have not worked for things, you don't understand someone's walk. So in the beginning, Dr. Jake said, we want someone else's dream, but we don't know the cost. You don't know what they had to sacrifice. You don't know what they had to go through. And if you put those shoes on for 1 second, most of us will crumble, because it wasn't our gift, it wasn't our assignment, and it wasn't for us to have. So I always say, and this is something that you all can take away from this, I want what God wants for me. I don't want what some people think I'm supposed to have. I don't even want to be what some people think I'm supposed to be. Towards then, he said, who do I need to become to attract my dream? How many of us, and he said it, so I'm just going to repeat what he said, right? Don't get mad at me, get mad at him. And really don't get mad at him, get mad at God. Because this is a huge one for us. I keep getting in bad relationships. All of my businesses keep failing. All of my jobs end up bad. You know how we go through this cycle of victim, 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 right? I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Who is the common denominator? Now, when you sit with that, you realize that it's you. You attract these things. You attract these powers. You attract these people. You attract bad relationships. Why? You have to literally go to the God and also to yourself and be honest and say, what is it about me that needs to change? What part of yourself are you willing to let die to have the dream? Because our ungratefulness, you can't have a dream. Us mistreating people, you can't have the dream. Us being selfish, you cannot have the dream. Not wanting to help people, you cannot have the dream. And the mistake we make oftentimes, and I used to do it as well, is watching other people who do grimy stuff and they look like they win. But I don't know one person that I have sat back and watched that was, look, the pinnacle of success, that God put them out in front of everybody. And over a certain period of time, he allowed them to go up, 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 only to expose them and make them crash right in front of everybody. To show you that this is not how you do it. There is another way. Like Dr. Jake said, the type of car he has. And he's showing people there is another way to do this. You don't have to do it in the negative, because we will reap what we sow. There ain't no way around that. Period. You are going to reap what you sow. What does your life look like in your dream? Not the dream mama gave you. Not what everybody said you were supposed to be. The dream that God gave you, because some of us get direct instructions on what that is and what it looks like, how it's supposed to be, the time that it's going to take for it to develop. And then we stand back and we get scared and we don't fulfill that thing because somebody else said your dream is supposed to be something else. Right? What does it look like? If you cannot conjure it up and pull it up in your mind's eye, you cannot have it. Because it's thought first in the spiritual realm before it goes to the physical realm. Before you even write it on a piece of paper, it had to be a thought in your mind. It's something that you saw. It's something that you're being for, that you're working towards, right? Your will has to align up with God's will for your life. Otherwise, it may come to pass for a short amount of time to teach you a lesson, but it won't be everlasting. It won't be anything we can pass down to our children. The thoughts that's in the ether that drops down into us, that God gives us, it's supposed to be there. We're supposed to do something with it. So the ability to be fluid and to flow and to move, not just in some aspects of our life, but every aspect. How we do one thing is how we do everything else. So the very first thing is starting with yourself. Also, who are you going to help, like he said? Who is your dream going to help? Because if it's only self-serving purposes, it's only going to last for so long. Because each one of our purposes and the reason that you're here in your dream is to extend to other people and give value. So I got to go to the drawing board, probably just like everybody and really divulge what he said. I'm going to end on this quote. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that he was so deep in the mud that the only thing out was his eyes, right? When he talked about manure fertilizes. Manure helps things grow at when I say an expansive rate, those of y'all who, have done planting and farming, at an advanced rate. Be able to have mudsling with you. Mud is purifying. Manure is purifying. And we have a perfect example, Jesus Christ, who said, pick up your own cross. You cannot walk with him. You cannot walk with God and not have people slang stuff at you. But guess what? If they slang enough things, you get to walk on top of all of that and stand on the top and declare that God has his hand on you and over you, and you overcome everything that has been thrown your way because you serve him in his higher purpose. And so therefore he pours in abundance into your life. So take the licks, y'all. Take the punches, take the slaps, take the being talked about, take the being ostracized. I'd rather be ostracized by everybody and hated and be blessed and know that God is proud of me and what I am doing. At the end of the day, that's the only one that matters. And he gave you your purpose when he put you in your mother's womb. So align your dream up with his dream and let him be the vehicle. And when he takes one away, say thank you, because he's going to give you another one. That which he takes away, he always replaces. So let's be grateful, y'all. We got a heck of a family here. Dr. Jake brought the house down today, and I'm appreciative because it was divine alignment, and it was things that I had heard and talked about for the last couple of weeks, and that was my word for me to get back to work. And if you need to revamp. It's okay to start over. It really is. Thank God that you can start over. That means that you're alive and breathing. That means he gave you another chance in another day. Just align yourself up with the right people. If you here, you're in the right place. We gonna do some business, but we gonna kingdom build first. That's first and foremost. That's the cost. Clean yourself up. That's the cost. The ultimate cost. Let go all that don't serve us and work on what he has for you to do. And know that it really ain't a sacrifice because you're going to get everything back tenfold. And if you never experience sadness, you will never know what joy is. So sometimes enjoy being taking the licks and what don't feel good. You love everything that you get after that much, much more because you understand what it took, the sacrifice. What are we willing to sacrifice? Ask yourself that question. Are you willing to die daily to live out your dream? Because who you are today is not going to who you're going to be tomorrow. And they're not going to be the next year, and the next year, and the next year. Shut off the old you and let the new you come out and watch how your circle changes. Because you got to shed the old skin. And you got to find a new flock sometimes. So we're in the best flock that we could be in, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I'm happy to be here. I really am. So I'm wrapping up. Look, I'm gonna go back and watch this because Jake was tearing the house down, y'all. I'm just, he filled me up, so I'm just sharing. But I appreciate y'all time. I appreciate your ears. I appreciate you receiving whatever it is that I said that was dropped in me to give because it's a word for you and it's a word for me. So thank y'all. I love y'all. And over to Shaw.
Thank you, Sister Naomi. As always, we appreciate you. Your 1,700 closes. I love it. So yes. The only thing that I wanted to add, one of the things that I didn't hear said, maybe somebody did say, but he says, no matter how good a builder is, they need a blueprint. And a lot of us out there freestyling, I hear it all the time. Like even when we try to pin y'all down to like, what is your gift? Your gift. Like, what is your niche? Oh, I'm just so good at so many things. And it's just like, that's not how it's going to work. If you think about anybody that's like really successful, like they got known in the industry. They got known for something very specific. And that is how they got notoriety. And that's how they made actual claim. So many times the things that you consider to be you're good at are just distractions that you need to declutter and really get focused and locked in. And some of us really want to get away from that. One of the things that dropped on me, and I keep hearing this, like I feel like a couple of different people said this, is misunderstanding. I think the brother said it, and I was kind of just trying to encourage him. That misunderstanding can be ordained by God. We know this for sure when we look at Job's struggle. Friends, family members, even his wife, all misunderstood what was going on. Bad advice that wasn't really for him. They didn't understand what God was trying to take him through. So they gave all of this advice. Man, you had to do something. What did you do to make God mad at you? What did you do to curse your family? And literally, this was his purpose, was to go through the things that he was going through so that God could bless him on the other side of this thing. So don't always, and I talked about it on one of my lives earlier, it's like those people and those situations that you deem to want to be removed from your situation and from your environment, many times God has planted it in there so that, again, like he can solely be responsible for the glory on the other side of being able to say, no, God took me through this, bro. This was a supernatural thing. So like it was no way. Man couldn't have done this. So that you can see him through these obstacles. So I want you guys to know many times it is going to be very lonely. When you're talking about my experience in particular, I'm basically a country away from most of my family, my mom, my dad, all of the people that I grew up with. But it was God's purpose for me to be in cold, dark Alaska right now, summertime, for me to fulfill a part of my life. How long will that be? I can't say that's like an indefinite assignment, but it definitely was on course of my assignment. And I never, and I have never ever tried to get out of the assignment until I felt like God was calling me to a different place in a different space. I literally would have said in Alaska, continue to grow my business. I'm not broke. We good. My family's good. but now it is a different part, and I have to be open to that. And that feels like struggle. You know, you get comfortable as much as, you know, like being close to family and things like that is important. I've kind of got used to this and making, you know, like not relatives, but family members. I have friends. I've had people that I've spent holidays with. They are much of my family as anybody is. I'll have to be disconnected for them as I, you know, go into the next phase of my entrepreneurial journey. But I want you guys to understand, like, that misunderstanding thing. Like, count it joy when people are misunderstanding. Even the minister talks about that. He said you're in good company when you start getting kicked off of social media and things like that. You're getting banned. That's exactly, Jesus would be banned. If Jesus was walking around us right now, y'all, they would censor him all day. It wouldn't be on nobody's CNN. It wouldn't be on nobody's nothing. They don't want to hear truth. They don't want to hear truth. So as you think about that and you're misunderstood, don't always think that, you know, like fitting in is always the way. Yes, are we taught to be peaceful? Are we taught to be peacemakers? Of course. But at the same time, we fight with those that fight against us, and we definitely fight against those that are not bearers of the truth. And that's just what time it is. So, you know what I mean? So sometimes that polarity is not always a negative thing. Many times it's what God has to do it. If he would allow them people to be your friends, if he would allow your family members to understand, he can never get that pressure that he need to turn up on you to actually get you to do what he needs you to do. That's just good. We had a brother that came on the Lion's Den. He said that the part about habit, we were talking about fasting, and he said the part about, you know, habits and doing things the right way, he said the enemy is always comfort. The reason why we don't do many things is because we want to be comfortable. You don't want to move from a city or a neighborhood that you know like is not the place you need to be able to fulfill the mission, because you're comfortable. You don't want to move. You don't want to go on that diet, even though you know this food is literally killing you, because you want to be comfortable. You don't want to stop drinking or doing drugs because you're comfortable doing those things. So comfort is always the enemy of real, true growth. And we have to get it in our mind, like when we come up to these oppositions and when we're coming up to struggles and things like that, that actually God is calling us to a bigger and higher mission, and we have to be qualified to do that. And it is okay. Count it all joy. And then my last thing that I saw Jake talk about was fulfillment comes from working in your gifting. And so many of us are on jobs where we're literally stressed out, like literally taking years off of our lives, even in businesses sometimes that we are operating. The bag is there. Some of y'all will get paid so much. I spoke to my team about it today. You know, some people on my team are getting paid more than they've ever gotten paid in their life, literally, but miserable, sad, depressed. I'm trying to find my way. I'm this, that, like, this is literally the things that people are saying. And I'm just like, but I thought it was about the bag. I thought once you got a certain dollar sign, that was it. It's never that. It's exactly what Sister Naomi said. You have to have it in the spirit. And then all of these external things that come, you'll know how to manage it. I don't act no different, man. I done had a big bag, I done had a small bag. I'm still gonna get up, do these tribe calls, be with my babies, and because there's just a certain level of activity that we're just gonna do in our lives, period. But when you think that all of these material things are going to bring you happiness, and you realize that they're not. I'm not saying nobody want to be broke. No, that ain't what we're talking about. But at the same time, you have to continue to work on the personal development piece. You have to continue to work on the spiritual piece. You have to continue to work on your mindset. So many of us got involved, whether it was BWO, back in the day, digital real estate. A whole bunch of people came in here because we showing these testimonials of people making a certain amount of money and things like that. Some of them brothers that came and went, they gone because they came in here for the wrong. I'm not going to sit on a call where they're 30 minutes with a book. I have better things to do. A YouTube video, why would I do that? I could do that in the whole comfort of my home. So arrogant, so arrogant. 6'9", 250 pounds, biggest brother you'd have never seen, but a little boy when you talk about spiritual. Y'all better get serious about this. We better get serious about this. These things are the things. Like she said, God is the vehicle. We keep talking about a vehicle. God is the vehicle. And when you align yourself with him and do the work and work with his people and really realize that you have one gift, not 12. You have some hobbies, you have some talents, some good things that you do, but you have one gift, and I need to spend a considerable amount of time sitting and resting in that gift. Jake didn't talk about it tonight, but it's been other times where he talks about working in your Sabbath. And many of us never get to this point because we're literally working in conflict to our nature. That ain't you. Just because you made a lot of money, just because you got a lot of awards, like that ain't you. It doesn't fulfill you. We got to get to fulfillment. We got to get to operating in what is natural to us. And I'm not saying it's not going to be work. I'm not saying you might not have to nurture a little bit. I'm not saying you might have to tweak it. But ultimately, like, you know what you've been good at since you've been 3-4 years old. You know what you've been seeing people go to school for, and they bought all these courses and everything. I just do that. My wife is naturally creative, like natural, like a whole like different like level. Like, how did you even think? I don't know. It just makes sense. You don't see this? No, I don't see that, girl. What are you talking about? See what? What is there to see? That's her being in her bag. On that level, she's a superhuman. We ain't gonna compete on. Then there's also stuff that I do. And she's like, oh, I didn't even see that, baby. Like, that's so appreciating each other's gifts and realizing, like, when you really operate in that, there is no competition. Nobody can be Jason King. Nobody can be Jason King at being Jason King. Only when he steps outside of that and this world gets noisy and tries to make him be something other than what God has called him to be, does he have to compete? But as long as he stay in his lane, you guys, like, there are certain people that's assigned to that. There are certain people that's waiting on it. They're literally, me and Jason could teach the same thing, and they waiting on that brother and his gift to show them the way. Nah, I like the way Jason explained it, John. I get it. You know, you gave us a whole bunch of words, but I just like the simplicity of how the brother, right? Or maybe it's not even something that he say. Maybe it's just a feeling that he has. Oh, we got to get serious about this gift thing. Ben then came on here and said it. We say it 500 times. Jake then came on and said it again. And then, well, teach me about another crypto. What about another? I'm not hating on that, you guys, but I just don't want that to continue to be your end all be all. Because it's always going to be something else, y'all. Some of y'all might not be old enough, but there was a thing called the .com bubble. And it was all of these websites that basically, like, they blew up, and they had these valuations, and basically valuations is just like, they say they worth a certain type of thing. And when that thing passed, you guys, like, literally these things were not worth anything. Like websites like called Ask Jeeves and all of these things, they're not even around anymore, but they were as big as Facebook and stuff back in the day. Like, there's always going to be another play. I'm not saying that crypto ain't it. It might be. But what I'm telling you is attach your gift to crypto and you're never going to go wrong. You'll never go wrong. So stop, like Coach Khan said, stop just sitting on here and say, oh, it's real good. Wrote a couple of notes and really try to apply this stuff, because this is the answer. This is exactly why you're here. It's a reason, and it's a season, and it's a time for everything. So I thank everybody, for their thoughts. I thank Dr. Jake, most importantly, man, for, letting us tap into what he's doing, man. That's a beautiful brother, doing tremendous work. We wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for his dream. Think about that. We're walking in his dream. How powerful is that? Like, you're literally seeing how big this thing could be. And your dream is not any smaller. Your dream is not any less significant. Your dream is just your dream. Tap into it. There's people that honestly need it. Without this, man, it's literally relationships in my life that, it would have had to come some other way, but it wouldn't have been no tribe. If brother Ben and brother Jake didn't come and put it down like this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very thankful for those brother dreams. We literally walking in it. But yeah, that's our call for today, you guys. We do have new members orientation tomorrow for those that want to partake in that, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's for the new people, but if you're just feeling like you want to tap in for some good energy as well, tap into that. So if you're having any issues as far as you just need some clarity about what the BWO is, what the tribe is, all of the coaches are going to be present. We're going to hold it down. And then Ben, You know, I hate to announce stuff with these two, but the plan is, the plan is that Ben will be here on Thursday. But you know what I mean, God willing, they're very creative and spontaneous. So that is the plan for now. Like I said, I hate being on the hook. Then it's like y'all looking at me. Y'all know I'm gonna be here, so I get the brunt of it. But that is the plan. That Ben and Jay, yes, God willing, that they'll be here. I'm sorry, Ben will be teaching on Thursday. So it should be a really good week, y'all. So I appreciate you guys. Y'all tap into the Facebook group. Let us know any takeaways and things like that. We really get these calls to be what they should be. So let anybody give us a little review inside of the Facebook group. Any takeaways that you guys have, especially if you didn't voice them in here, and we'll kind of light up the Facebook group for the next few hours or whatever. All right, y'all. Yeah, tag your friends, all that good stuff. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all. Peace, peace.
Well, yeah, I didn't mute my mic. That's why I was all extra. But hopefully you was able to get something out of it, enjoyed it. and it was able to shed more light on what the ABS tribe is about. Salutes up on praise too. And J Johnny T, what ABS class is? ABS class is, the ABS stands for assets before splurging, meaning get what you need before what you want. Get get in line your purpose and achieve your purpose before all the splurging of cars and things of that nature, like these rappers be doing when they first come out and they young, and the first thing that pop out of their mouth is drugs, alcohol, girls, cars, houses. But that's not what's supposed to be splurged out as first. Is that what your purpose is? You're supposed to be letting the world know what your purpose is and why you're doing what you're doing, so people can back you up for your purpose, not for no drugs, alcohol, girls, and cars and houses and jewelry, but for your purpose. Your purpose should be what God put you on this earth for, as in your gift, and being a messenger with the gift to gab in a way of flowing could be your purpose. But what is that gift being presented for the achievement, far as into bringing in the kingdom of God, is the question. So the ABS class help you find your purpose. I mean, it should be something like more sort, so you can get your mama out of debt or your family out of debt, and be able to achieve on a level without being under the oppression of your oppressor and having to do what your oppressor tell you to do, but you doing what God tell you to do, no matter what. You sacrificing to make a better life for your community and uplifting your community and telling the world what your community need and what your community going through and what your community have achieved as well. Not just what they need and things of that nature, but what they have achieved. What's the good news in the neighborhood where you at? Because the news ain't telling the world what's the good news in your neighborhood where you at. I mean, who graduated from college? Who graduated from high school? Who was able to get drafted into the NBA or NFL? Those not no small feats. That's not nothing weak. It ain't no weak person gonna be able to achieve that. Who have started a business in your neighborhood? You should be doing a video around businesses that's prospering in your neighborhood. You ain't putting them in the spotlight. Why you in the spotlight? Why you being selfish? I mean, that's a great achievement. That ain't nothing weak. That's real strong. You know how many black families or black people out here in the neighborhoods have a business? Not many. So I mean, why you not putting them out there? If they're achieving greatness online and top of the line on YouTube, they should be in your videos or in your raps. They got truck businesses, all kinds of businesses out here. They are scientists, they are in anything of that nature. That should be in your raps, especially when you first coming out. You're supposed to be showing people your purpose, what your city really is about. Ain't about no we the craziest or we the cat pillars or the top dope dealers or the top thieves or the top dogs. You should be displaying we the top gods, we the top in crypto, We the top in stock markets. We the top in opening businesses with families. We the top in uniting to make our community better. We the top in stopping police brutality in our neighborhoods. We the top in putting these politicians in check. We the top is in not being no fools. We the top in not taking no BS. We the top in telling you the truth. Those type of things when you first coming out as a rapper that you should be able to do. So if you're not able to do that, that means, I don't know, you got somebody on your neck, you got somebody in your, I don't want to say the word, but using you as a puppet, saying what they want you to say. And that ain't what we need today, not for the next generation. Do you want the next generation to come up and do what you should have done and humiliate you when you should have did it in your time period? You ain't talking about your neighborhood ain't taking no crap as far as y'all hitting and beating up on our women and disrespecting our women and calling them out their names when it ain't in place and things of that nature. Come on now. And you supposed to be the next generation. You want to be great. You're not gonna be great if you can't do none of that. As far as I'm concerned, the next generation gonna be like, pooh, man, they ain't did nothing, man, but just talk about some drugs, killing us, some alcohol that was messing up our families, driving cars, trying to look good in big old houses, ain't showed us how to get it, ain't showed us how to get the car, ain't showed us no ways of making no money, but got throwing money all in our face. Just what's the word? Just fronting on us. Why you fronting on us? So you don't want to be in that category when they come up and humiliate y'all. Ain't nobody gonna want to listen no more of your songs. Them royalties gonna go down. It's you think this world going down, your royalties gonna go down. You gonna be up there in the old age thinking you gonna be still getting them royalties. And the royalties gonna be starting to come get down from the millions to the thousands to the hundreds to the tens to some change. Till you ain't getting a thing. So wake up, hit a coffee. But yeah, you can get into the ABS tribe if you go back on some of my posts, not some of my lives, but some of my posts of me doing some readings with other Black conscious and elevating people for our community on this site, the So Us Show. You can go up in there and look in my descriptions. You'll see to the ABS tribe, and you can join the ABS tribe right through there, J Johnny T. Or you can text me ABS at 214-682-0876. That's text ABS to 214-682-0876. All right there, family. Keep your heads up and stay focused. FBA for life. Peace. NOI for life, Black church for life, whatever, for life, as long as it's righteousness, for life, peace.